Bacon. Bacon. Small bacon.
All right, hey, welcome to another edition of JTJU, where we all try to be just a little better at the game of Clash of Clans. I got another attack review screencast for you, kind of going back on that 813R we released last week and taking a look at a version of it, the Trident. And that's basically where, if you look at the mix, we swap, and instead of using the Rage on the backside loons, we switch it and use it on the Dragons coming in. And then, as Tridents typically do, we don't use loons to help the first attack group. We instead hit them off the zapQuake area and move in. But that said, let's take a look at the attack. It'll probably make a little more sense once I show it to you. All right, so this is the attack. Let's go ahead and advance it to the just when it zooms out here. Okay, right there. And I want to show you first, when you're looking at an 813R, trying to figure out between deep and Trident. You know, what are the decisions or things you got to think about before doing it. Now, the first thing you got to be thinking from is like, so the 813 deep is the default. It's the safest, but not as high powered, if you will. So if you're going to Trident, there's things you're risking to get a little bit of more oomph out of the troops, right? And here's the things you're risking. In this case, I'll already tell you that he's going to attack this. The first AD is here, so this is the air attack with the Dragons. I'll make it a D for Dragon. And then over here, this is going to be the backside where the backside loons, and this is going to be the zapQuake right here, right? So if you're coming in at 9 o'clock at this AD there, the thing you got to be asking first to see, can I do Trident, is the Dragons under Rage, can they make it with no loon support, right? And then what you want to see is what you're seeing here, which is a lot of high health buildings, which under Rage, Dragons deployed, if we had a Rage spell right in this area, will burn through pretty quick, right? Which is what this whole setup's all about, is to give time for the air defense to weaken it down, and you got the CC that comes out as well at the same time, and the Dragons are stuck, right? So my first thought would be like, yeah, I like the layout. I mean, if I burn through those two storages, it's really the Wiz Tower, and then I'm on to, you know, some pretty low health units, I'd be in there pretty quick. Okay, so number one could work. And the second question you ask yourself is, with the backside, is can my CC loons, with one Vanguard loon from the camp, get to the backside AD? Usually you want to see two hops with that. So in this case, if we came from here, notice we're two hopping in, so that's good. And so you would drop your Vanguard loon, and then you would drop your CC loons, and they would just float in one at a time. Vanguard taking out the air mines, hopefully, and then the CC loons coming in behind. So I would think this is reasonable risk for the backside AD. It's only two hops away. So both checks for going Trident are there. And so when we do Trident, the zapQuake itself, we're zapQuaking, and then we're going to attack into it. And here's one of the interesting wrinkles that ETA, as we call them, used in JTJ on this. So once you zapQuake this AD, you then will immediately, before the Dragons get dropped, you will immediately deploy your king. You'll begin an attack into that zapQuake area with your camp loons. So the king goes down first to get the distract, kind of like you've done with other 813 attacks before. And so it's locking up these two archer towers, and then the loons would come in and float in and do their deal, right? Take this area out. But what's interesting about the attack is, as these loons are coming in and taking out what you want to get, the CC, which is an anti-trigger CC, gets triggered. And you can then, it'll come out, it'll kill off your loons, which are just floating there happily, taking out the AD. And then you can even draw it out a little further, as ETA will do, and have this CC actually end up out on the flank. And the reason why this is important is that you can then get away from one of the big risks with the 813, which is the CC engages your Dragon army when it's clumped, right? If you just went with the classic style and deployed your Dragons as they're moving in towards that AD, and it triggered the CC on its own, there's a good 50-50 shot that they'll engage right here, and it'll be like 5 Dragons on the CC Dragon, and it gets to do 5 times damage, kind of like a Valk does on like 2 buildings at the same time, but this time it's worse. So your whole army is getting weakened by one guy. You don't want that to happen. So instead, if you do it this way, where you use the camp loons as part of the first phase to actually take out the zapQuake area and trigger the CC, pull it to the flank, then when you deploy your attack against the first AD in that arc manner, the CC loon will come over here, or CC Dragons will come over here and engage the edge, which is good, because then it's really probably maybe 1 or 2 Dragons getting damaged and taking out the CC Dragon at the same time. which is always a bonus. So you'll see that happen here. Let's go ahead and hit play. And you'll check it out, the flow. Check out the flow. So there's the zapQuake that goes down, and then the king will deploy down here at 6:30. There he goes. And then in comes the camp loons flying in to get the other aspects of the defense. And then it triggers the CC. Now I would say his drop of his dragons a little early. Might have had his CC go against the dragons anyway. So a little bit more of a lag on the dragon attack would be good. Let's pause right here though, because here comes the final fit stage. And you can see he did actually, if I back it up a little bit, and we go right from here, notice he did drop the backside loons off distract, right? So what we're looking for is we want this AD to be firing into the mid when I drop my loons on the backside snipe, so that they have more time. We want to protect them in effect. We want to let the heavy units take the damage. And so he did that. He tried to do that. See, that's pounding away, and that's came in right away. So it was a great timing in terms of the CC loons on the backside taken out for the AD, and it leaves him 3 dragons on the map, and then he'll power through for the victory. And this base actually held us off. We tried hogs, we tried some other versions of some stuff, couldn't get it down. Had 3 or 4 attacks on it until ETA did this attack here. So something to try if you are having struggle with a certain Town Hall 8 base. Otherwise, I hope it helps. We'll talk to you guys later.
Don't touch that, Larry.
Touch it, Larry. You know you want to.
Larry, don't touch
Larry,
that.
do it. Do it, Larry.
Larry!
Yes! Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, Larry.
What'd I
Good
just say,
job,
Larry?
Larry. Good job.